Welcome to the Sprinkles of Spirit podcast. I'm Lisa, and I am your host. With a lifelong passion for self-discovery, personal growth, and spirituality, I have realized the ability to transform our lives is a timeless gift that lies within each of us, waiting to be awakened. Join me in this space every Thursday as I share with you all of the powerful practices and tools that have helped me elevate my mind, body, and spirit, as I know they will do the same for you. Together, we'll unleash your potential through self-love, self-acceptance, and faith, empowering you to live an inspired life that radiates with authenticity, purpose, and unwavering joy. I am so grateful you are here. Remember, you are exactly where you are supposed to be, and you are loved beyond measure. Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you for joining me for the first episode of 2024. So it's funny, I listened to the first episode I ever recorded from 2023 last week. And it's interesting, it was really cool for me to listen to it because as the year progressed, you can kind of feel myself getting more and more comfortable in using my voice and showing up every week. I don't know, it was just really cool. But listening back to the first message kind of brought me back to, my why and why I remained committed, and I shared 52 weeks of talks that hopefully inspired you. Essentially, when I listen back, it's a little sprinkle of a spiritual coaching session, honestly, what I'm sharing, and I hope you feel inspired and you're excited for 2024 as, I'll get my practice in on doing interviews. So I'm really excited. I made a list, I meditated and I made a list of teachers, coaches, authors who have helped me along my path and who've helped me elevate my life in my mind, in my body, and in my spirit. And yeah, I want to get them on and I want to have conversations that I get to share with you, everything that's helped me along my path. Because I know as I'm, kind of, halfway in my 49 is divine year, I was able to, manifest some dreams. I was able to set goals and see them through. And the podcast was one of them. And, these people helped me along my path and they inspire me. And so I'm going to sprinkle them throughout the year. I don't have an exact schedule yet, but stay with me as I get those loaded. I'm very excited as I dive into doing interviews, every week with you. But first, before we continue, if you are new here, I started out the podcast by asking you to please breathe with me. So go ahead and close your eyes, put down all of the things wherever you are. Create your space for a moment here to just get into the present moment with me. Relax your shoulders and soften your eyebrows. Take a deep breath in through your nose, filling up the belly, the ribs, all the way up to your shoulders. And then exhale, nice and gentle out of your mouth as you soften a little bit more. Getting quiet for a moment before you take that next inhale through your nose. And then slowly open the eyes. let's start the year out with a breath, right? Got my little singing bowl here. So when I listened back to the first episode, it took me back to my ebook, Keep Me Where the Light Is. And there's a story that I tell in there about my earth angel, my visit from an earth angel. So do you know what earth angels are? I believe in them. I 100% believe in them. And I wrote the ebook, started it, when did I start it? Probably around 2015 is when I actually had the idea. And then I would start and write and stop and start and stop and start and stop. But anyway, the ebook got finished in 2020. And I'm going to tell you my story about my visit from an earth angel. And it happened to me during, and this is years ago, it happened to me during a period of my life where, how if you've ever felt heartbroken, I felt spirit broken. It was a difficult time. It was a time of change, a time of learning, a time of feeling kind of lost, a time of realizing the direction my life that I thought it was going to go in, realizing that direction was pivoting, I was pointed in a new direction and I kind of didn't know what direction I was going in. And I just felt, and I felt grateful for my life, so incredibly blessed in so many ways. But there was kind of this space of not really knowing or connecting with a purpose or feeling like I had a purpose, or just felt so unsure and vulnerable during this time of my life. And it was after, I had lost my dad, and, I wasn't in a relationship. Even my friendships were kind of changing. Like everyone around me was on new paths, and I was kind of just standing still, and it was like, I felt spirit broken. I really did, And as I've said to you guys before, if you've been along with me on this path, I've spent 20 years going to the gym, I would say addicted, definitely addicted, going to the gym, wouldn't miss a session, would not leave until I was drenched in sweat, just exercised like a maniac. And I kept doing that during this period. It was like my saving grace. Exercise has always been, moving my body has been essential to my well-being. But so anyway, it was during this time, and I was at the gym, and it was during the time I was addicted to spinning classes. And I'm setting up, I was almost late for the class, but I was setting up, getting my spinning shoes on, and, picked the bike that I was going to ride on. And then honestly, he was a little old man. He looked like a little old man, approached me. And so right away, listen, it was not like older man hitting on younger girl at a class. It was not like that. This is not the energy I felt. He was genuine, and he came up to me and he just kind of looked at me and he said, "Are you okay?" And I just kind of like stopped what I was doing, and I looked at him, and we looked into each other's eyes, and I really felt a sincere, a genuine space in his heart that he was coming from love, even though he was a complete stranger. And I just said, yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, you know? And he goes, oh, and I forgot what exact words he said, but he was like, okay, you seem a little down or something to that extent. And I was just like, I'm okay, thank you. And then we went about our ways and we did the class. And I sweat profusely and I left drenched in sweat. And then, so the next week comes, right? Same class, same time. I arrive at class and I pick my bike, put on my shoes. Class is almost starting. And I look up and there's the little old man again. Only this time he's holding a bag, like a Publix plastic bag filled with books or something, right? And he looked at me and he goes, hey, this is for you. And I go, oh, okay. He goes, take it home. And I said, okay, thank you. And I didn't have time to really check it out because class was about to start. I shove it in my gym bag, right? And we do our spinning class. I didn't even see him leave. Like, I don't remember seeing him leave, and I didn't get to chit chat with him again. And I go home, and I didn't even look when I got in my car. I just drove home. I was a little, like, I guess, out of it. And I get home, I get ready for bed, I do my night routine. And then as I'm going to bed, I'm just like, oh my gosh, what did he give me? I had so many things like going through my mind, right? I pull out the bag and it's several books. Okay. And the one book I remember is Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda, and a few other books that were on meditation and yoga. And I don't know, I pulled out those books and I just had like the chills. And I was like, oh, it was like, this is your direction, And I really felt it inside that I needed to read these books, really listen to them, and, follow the path of my heart. And I did. Now, I will tell you, I didn't fully finish the books before I was like, I got to get these books back to him. And it was quite some time before I didn't see him again for quite some time. But I felt, it's so funny. I'm a book junkie and I don't like letting people borrow my books. I know that's terrible, but I'm always afraid I'm never going to get them back because it happens every time, right? Who returns a book that you borrowed? So I was freaking out about that. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to give him these books back. They're so special, So I brought the bag back with me and I did see him that one more time. And I was able to see him and I handed him the bag and I said, thank you so much. And he looked at me and he goes, he's like, I see the light back in your eyes. And I smiled and I was like, thank you. And I never saw him again. And I really do believe he was my earth angel because it just was something that happened that I really needed. I needed a sign. I needed an arrow to be pointed. And it really placed me on my path of, what we call self-realization, of really realizing who you really are at your core, underneath the physical body and underneath, I'm thinking of a diamond. There's a book I'm actually reading by Father Rohr, a Franciscan priest, and it's called the Immortal Diamond. And what a perfect metaphor he describes for the soul. It's to get to the soul, we have to mine away what is surrounding it, right? The hardness, the rocks, the darkness, the dirt, to get to the pure brilliance of our soul, of our heart center. And this earth angel, that showed up. And when I read these books and I really dove into my yoga journey and dove deeper into meditation and really understanding who Lisa really is, and uncovering all the heaviness, all the layers of past hurt, past pain, past doubt, self-doubt, self-judgment, all of it just started falling away, falling away, falling away until that light, that beautiful diamond at the center was shining. And I see it, I feel it, I know when I'm connected to that space. I know when I'm coming from a place of love rather than fear. Because looking back on that time, I was just sitting in fear, And here we are on a new year, and I don't know, that story just came to me and I realized I didn't share it, last year. And I was like, I'm going to start the year off by sharing with you that there is a beautiful, bright, brilliant diamond within the chamber of your heart. And I hope to be your guide to that space that's going to give you that sparkle back in your eyes. If you're someone who maybe has lost it, or you are confused, or you're in a space of sadness or doubt or fear or confusion, I want to guide you and bring you back to a place of feeling grounded, safe, secure, confident, and filled with self-love and faith in who you really are and in your higher power. Because when we're in that space, let me tell you, it's beautiful. You start to view life, like I said in that first episode, you view life through a different lens, through a spiritual lens. And you know what I've realized about spirituality? It's not about explaining what it is. It's more about having the experience. And when you have the experience, you totally understand. It's like you're staring at the diamond, and you get it. You're like, oh, all this other stuff isn't real. Doesn't matter. It's not the truth. And I started the podcast with the hope of guiding you and sharing all the things that work for me, that keep me shining bright like a diamond, and able to grow and be fearless and actually choose fear. There's a quote I want to share with you. Before I get to 2 cards, actually, so this year, yes, I'm still going to share the Sprinkles of Spirit cards. And I'm also guided to use, for my empaths out there, the Power of Surrender cards by Judith Orloff. So yes, Dr. Judith Orloff wrote this deck. She wrote many books on being an empath. Highly recommend her. And I'm going to pick cards from her card deck, which is all about what we need to surrender. But anyway, I wanted to share and be your guide to helping you choose fear. And the quote that I was thinking of is from Winston Churchill, and it is, "Fear is a reaction, courage is a decision." And the more we love ourselves and the more you realize and connect to the truth, which is love, which is forgiveness, which is patience, which is compassion, which is being fully present, you are able to choose the truth, right? Choose courage and let go of the fear that keeps you in self-doubt, self-judgment, sadness, despair, confusion, insecurity, all of it. We're going to move out of that in 2024, and I'm going to help you choose courage, right? And also pick your word, right? So yeah, pick your word for 2024. It carries a vibration. Make that be your journal prompt this week, is coming up with a word. And I will share with you, one of my words is connection. And I'm going to connect with you on a deeper level with authenticity. And you can come along with me on that journey, as it's kind of scary to kind of put yourself out there, but in order to have a true, meaningful, authentic connection, we've got to share more of who we are. And so I'm committed to deepening our connection and building the Sprinkles of Spirit community, So yeah, what is your word for 2024? So, okay, let's get to the cards. So your Sprinkles of Spirit card, and I'm picking that deep purple bluish color. And how perfect. And this is the card that popped out. Guardian Angel. Guardian Angel. And your affirmation is, I am surrounded by protective white light as I move throughout this day, grounded and safe. So I do believe in angels, and I'll do a whole episode on angels, the angelic realm. So remember, you are on this journey. You're not alone. You're never alone. You are surrounded by your guardian angels who you can call on and allow them to help you feel grounded and safe and protected, and know that they are always, always there with you. So, okay, the card from The Power of Surrender card deck by Judith Orloff I picked is, and I asked, just so you know, okay, what do we need to surrender in 2024? And this card popped out, surrender negative thinking. So write that in your journal, surrender negative thinking. And it says, you have control over your thoughts. When negative thoughts surface, say, thank you for sharing, and quickly refocus on positive affirmations. So surrender negative thinking. And when a negative thought pops up this year, let's all say, thank you for sharing. And then switch it to a positive affirmation. Let's all make this our practice, because, we really do have power over our thoughts. Self-awareness is key, and we can shift it. We are not our thoughts. They are not real. They are thoughts. We can shift our focus, and that is the path of manifesting the life that you want in 2024. We create what we think. So remember that. And I'm so happy you're here. Thank you for joining me in the new year. For those of you who've been with me, thank you. I'm so grateful for you. And, stay tuned for the interviews. Please visit lisayogaangel.com for more. Check me out on YouTube at Sprinkles of Spirit as I also evolve and share more. And then follow me also on the gram, on Instagram, Lisayogaangel. I would love to see you there. And yeah, let's manifest a year of feeling positive and courageous as we, deepen our connection with everyone in our life, and then with our relationship with everyone in our life and the relationship we have with ourselves, right? Because that's the one that matters the most. Okay, thank you. Until next week, have a beautiful day. Namaste.